have lattes from 4 different places. And to make sure I don't know where they're from, we labeled them. Well, we had someone else. I had my sister.
She just labeled them with numbers, and then we don't know what the numbers are, so we'll just end up picking which one we think's best, and then we'll open the envelope and figure out which one wins the pumpkin challenge.
So we have pumpkin spice lattes from Wawa, Panera, Starbucks, and Dunkin Donuts. And I got them all. They're all the same. They're all the same kind of milk, no sugars. I haven't added anything to them. So we're going to try and make this an even playing field. Alright, so we're going to get started with cup number 1. We don't know which one this is. And they're all different colors. Every single one is a different color.
Yeah, this one's really orange. It looks like it's just mashed up pumpkin.
So we know these are all different, but we don't know what's from what. So we're going to start with cup number 1.
Alright.
Okay. Smells really spiced.
Yeah, it's really spicy.
It's really sweet, too, on its own. I haven't had any sugars to any of these, so this one's really sweet.
Yeah, it's definitely more of the spice taste than the pumpkin.
Yeah, but I don't think it's necessarily pumpkin spice. It tastes like chai spices almost. Like this is more like a chai tea than a pumpkin.
Yeah, it almost tastes like somebody tried to mix pumpkin flavoring in a chai tea.
This has a lot of nutmeg, and it has a lot of what else? Not very much cinnamon. I can't taste much cinnamon. There's an aftertaste of cinnamon, but there's not much cinnamon at all.
Yeah. Kind of.
But it definitely has a lot of nutmeg in it.
Mm.
I think that's what's making it taste more like a chai latte instead of a pumpkin latte. I still have some of mine. I didn't drink it all. Well, we learned. Okay, so that's cup number 1. So cup number 1, I think it was good. It was sweet on its own. I didn't have to add any sugar to it. But it doesn't really taste like a pumpkin spice latte. It tastes more like a chai latte. It's basically a chai latte. That's it. I wouldn't even consider that really pumpkin.
Very weak on the pumpkin scale.
Yeah, it's very weak on the pumpkin scale. On the pumpkin spice scale.
Yeah.
I mean, none of these actually have pumpkin in it. It's all
here.
pumpkin spice. That's like the big thing. Okay, so we'll do cup number 2. Right. Cup number 1 was kind of a creamy beige color. This one is more just a solid beige. There's no yellow hint in it at all. This one was much more yellow.
It just looks like normal coffee.
This one has a much weaker smell.
Oh, wow.
This one doesn't really smell like spice at all.
No, that one's definitely much stronger, too. It's definitely more on the coffee side of the latte milk. Like espresso milk.
This is like straight espresso and milk. This is barely spiced at all. It has a hint of cinnamon and it's very bitter. It has like a bitter, like a burnt coffee note taste. Not necessarily like roasted coffee. This kind of has a burnt coffee note.
I think I'm still feeling number 1.
Yeah, overall, number 1 was definitely better than number 2. Number 2 is not bad if you want like a really strong latte. But this has no, I can't taste much spice in it at all. And it definitely has burnt coffee notes. Not roasted, but burnt. This has, it tastes like it's almost like overcooked.
Yeah.
Like you can overcook coffee. So, I still leave some of mine, so they'll do that.
There you go.
Okay. Okay.
No more accidents.
So we're already at number 3. Number 3 is like the orange. I don't know if they can see into the cup here.
No, probably not.
A little bit. But this is orange. This looks like pumpkin pie.
It looks like somebody blended up a piece of pumpkin pie.
And it smells more spiced, definitely more spiced than number 2, but not as spiced as number 1. Number 1 smelled a lot spicier. This one's another really sweet one.
Yeah.
Because I haven't had any sugar, and this one's really sweet. And I like my coffee sweet, so that's good for me.
Yeah, this is really creamy and very sweet. It almost tastes like sweetened milk.
Yeah, it's really sweet and creamy. Again, the spice level is not very strong.
Mm-hmm.
So far, the strongest spice level has been number 1, although it wasn't necessarily pumpkin spice. It was chai spice. That was the spiciest one so far. This one's, again, very mild.
This one's, I think, the pumpkiniest one.
It's got more pumpkin kind of a spiced flavor to it, but it's definitely a weaker spice level. Okay. And we're all right up to the last one.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Ultimate.
This one's the lightest colored one of all of them. This one's
kind of a sickly gray looking.
Yeah, this is really like gray. Again, I don't know if you'd be able to see this, but it is like a really pale gray color.
It smells good.
This one smells really strong. It actually smells like pumpkin spice too, not necessarily nutmeg like chai spice like the first one. And it's not as like mild as number 3, but
hopefully we'll save the best for last.
Hopefully.
That's really milky.
That's really milky.
Yeah, that just taste like...
That doesn't taste much like coffee at all. Like
No.
it makes sense because it looks so pale in here and so gray that I would assume that there's
Maybe
not
they
much
forgot to
espresso
put
in
the
this.
espresso in it.
They had to. I watched them. They put the espresso in all of them.
Because that just tastes like chocolate milk, only pumpkin spice instead of chocolate.
Yeah, it's a very mild pumpkin spice flavor. It's almost like a white hot chocolate with pumpkin spice, but not even that much pumpkin spice. Like maybe if you had a pumpkin spice latte in here and then poured milk inside,
Yeah.
it might taste like this. But
Yeah, because I can barely taste. I don't know if it's just me and because I drink coffee like a fiend, but that didn't taste like espresso.
So which one was your favorite of 1, 2, 3, and 4?
I would have to say that as far as taste overall goes, that I was really fond of number 1.
Yeah.
But I think that number 3 was the one that tasted most like pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
Like, if I were expecting to drink something that had the taste of pumpkin pie and coffee, number 3 was probably the best one.
Yeah.
But number 1 was my favorite overall.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I would say I like number 3 more than number 1 because it was more pumpkin-y. Number 1 tastes good. It tastes really, really yummy, and it tastes like chai spice, but it doesn't taste like pumpkin. So I liked number 3 because it was the most pumpkin-y spiced one.
Mm-hmm.
But number 1 was really yummy too. So any guesses? What do you think number 1 was?
I'm going to guess and say number 1 was the Panera one, and number 3 is the Dunkin Donuts one.
Dunkin Donuts?
Yeah.
Then who do you think the other 2 were? Number 2 and number 4?
I'm going to say number 2 was probably Starbucks and number 4 is probably Wawa.
Wawa?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I think number 4 might have been Wawa. And this coffee burned me, by the way. The
Scolded.
kid handed me the coffee, and it popped out of the little mouth hole, and it burnt my hand, which my hand still smells like pumpkin spice. So maybe I think this might be the Wawa one. I think maybe number 2 might have been Panera. I'm not sure. I think number 2 might have been Panera. I think 3 might have been Dunkin Donuts. And the last one, I think, was Starbucks. Alright, so we're going to get the piece of paper and find out who was what. Number 1 was Panera.
Oh, I was wrong.
Number 2 was Wawa.
Wow.
So number 3, the one that I liked the most was actually Starbucks, which I don't like Starbucks. I never drink Starbucks. He likes Starbucks.
I do. Apparently not.
And
well,
number
I did say it
4
was my second favorite.
was Dunkin Donuts.
Wow.
The Dunkin Donuts.
They really disappointed.
I saw them put the espresso in, but it doesn't taste like it at all.
It doesn't. Their iced pumpkin spice. Well, that's their pumpkin spice coffee. I don't know about their lattes. I usually get a nice.
I wanted to keep it like latte, so they all
Yeah.
had latte, so I wanted to keep it latte. So they are all supposed to be espresso, milk, and pumpkin spice.
Mm.
But number 4 was Dunkin Donuts, and number 4 tastes just like milk with maybe a tiny bit of leftover pumpkin spice in it. Number 3 was Starbucks, and that was the really orange one.
Yeah.
And that one was pretty good. It was the most pumpkin-y out of all of them, I think.
So I guess our winners are Panera, was
Panera?
it? Yeah, Panera and Starbucks.
Panera and Starbucks, yeah. Those are actually the ones I thought, I like Panera. I thought Panera would be, my number 1, but they were my number 2.
They are on a little, a bit of a higher echelon than Wawa and Dunkin Donuts, though.
Yeah, but I heard so many good things about, Wawa and Dunkin Donuts. People always rave about, the Dunkin Donuts iced coffee, and they get all the little K-cups, and they have, all the craziness about them. But seriously, 4 was, the most disappointing, I think, out of all of them. Even though number 2 tasted like burnt coffee.
I don't know. I'm going to have to go to Dunkin Donuts the next time, I'm out and see if there was something wrong with this one. If our test has been sullied.
At Dunkin Donuts, when I went to go order the coffee, the first person asked me for my order, and they didn't, I guess maybe they didn't understand me, and they had to go get a second person, and they had to ask me for my order again, hello, how are you, what would you like? And I told them Pumpkin Spice Latte again, and they disappeared, and then the third person had to come and ask my order, and then the third person finally, got my order.
Maybe nobody got your order. Maybe that's why you didn't get any.
I was saying it, but I was enunciating. And I was being very, very plain. I wasn't trying to talk with an accent or anything. I don't understand why you could have gotten Pumpkin Spice Latte wrong when all of your posters are Pumpkin Spice Latte and Iced Pumpkin Spice Latte and white hot chocolate pumpkin latte.
Maybe we should stop in case anybody from Dunkin Donuts sees this.
I don't care. You got my order wrong, apparently.
Anybody out there from Dunkin Donuts?
And then Wawa burnt me. Number 2 tastes like burnt coffee, and you burnt me. And I hate Starbucks.
The real trial was collecting the coffee.
Collecting the coffee was a nightmare. But so the winner of the Pumpkin Spice Latte Challenge is kind of a tie. I picked Starbucks, which was really surprising because I don't drink Starbucks. I hate Starbucks. I hate the whole, like, girls walking around with Starbucks cups kind of thing. But Starbucks was my #1 winner. And then you chose which
Panera.
one? Panera. And he's like a Starbucks fanboy.
So.
You have Starbucks cups and mugs and everything at home. And you chose my favorite.
I let her down.
I am a Panera fangirl, and he is a Starbucks fanboy, and we chose each other. It's poetic. Alright, so that was our Pumpkin Spice Latte Challenge. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. We're going to try to do a Pumpkin Spice K-Cup Challenge later this month with a whole bunch of K-Cups. Although now I bought the Dunkin Donuts one, so now I'm kind of worried that's going to be sucky too, because I got the latte.
I don't know, I don't
Dunkin'
think it's
Donuts latte
the
was
same.
sucky. Alright, so thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
We're live.
Well, we're not live. I gotta edit this out. I can delete this if I feel awkward about it.
Well, I don't think you're gonna put up the part where we're talking.
I might. I don't know if it's funny. I might leave it.
You have to edit out like the first 15 minutes.